Ace Bailey wanted a promise from the 76ers before agreeing to meet with them. A promise? A promise? Bruh, who exactly do they think Ace Bailey is? And again, I'm not putting this on Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey is an 18-year-old kid. He is young. He is impressionable. I think it's sad what's happening because he's being given advice by somebody or a team of somebodies who have their own vested interest. Because guess what? If he becomes a star, they get paid. I think he's listening to the wrong people. I said this yesterday. A lot of young kids make this mistake. They let family and friends be on their team, and they let the wrong people with the wrong agendas control what they're doing or control the narrative. Nobody should be in your camp besides professionals. Get your family, your friends, and everybody up out of here because they don't have your best interest in mind. They're trying to make a dollar, unfortunately. And when you really look at it, why did Ace Bailey go to Rutgers? You know? A top player in the country. I remember his high school videos coming out way before he played in college, putting him above Cooper Flagg, the number one player in the country, the number one prospect. Ace Bailey is the next this, he's the next that. So why did he go to Rutgers? You know? Why did Cooper Flagg go to Duke? If Ace Bailey wanted to be treated like Cooper Flagg coming into the NBA draft, he should have went to a bigger school where he would have been in the NCAA tournament and he could have made more of an impact on a larger stage. But it's becoming pretty clear that Ace Bailey went to Rutgers because there was no other top recruits in his way. Yes, he played with Dylan Harper, but Dylan Harper is a pass first point guard. They put Ace Bailey at a school that would definitely make him the number one option for 1 year to try to increase his star potential heading towards the NBA. But they didn't think about the fact that NBA teams care about winning mentality. NBA teams care about team player attitude. And then, I mean, your season at Rutgers was kind of underwhelming. And it's sad, you know, I admit I'm saying everything that everyone initially said that I fought back against. They all ended up being 100% on the money. And it could even go as far as people talking about his shot selection. And then you look at his interviews at the combine and the way that he answered those questions. And I was saying that I loved his confidence. But now that all this stuff came out, looking back on it, when he looks at a reporter after they said, what do you have to say about, people saying that you take bad shots? And he looked right at her and said, a bad shot to you isn't a bad shot to me. I thought it was confidence. Now it's sounding like cockiness to me. But anyway, yeah. So he canceled the workout with the 76ers. I feel like he's getting bad advice from the wrong people. And let me tell you who those people are. Ace Bailey's agent is Omar Cooper. Omar Cooper is the father of Sharif Cooper, who was a high NBA prospect. I remember Sharif Cooper playing for the Atlanta Hawks in the Summer League, and I thought the Atlanta Hawks had a steal at the time. And I actually completely forgot about him until I started reading about his dad, Omar Cooper, who I don't want to say used his son's NBA fame or initial NBA fame to start an agency to try to make a lot of money, but Sharif Cooper's dad started an agency to try to make a lot of money. I'm not trying to trash anybody. Anybody can become a sports agent. Rich Paul was a dude selling jerseys in an airport when he met LeBron James. I just, after seeing how they're handling Ace Bailey leading up to this draft, I am starting to feel like his agent, Sharif Cooper's father, Omar Cooper, is just in it to try to cash in. People are talking. I straight up Googled, why are people talking negatively about Omar Cooper? Because I don't know anything about him. And here's what Google told me. People are talking negatively about Omar Cooper, an agent with Lifestyle Sports Agency. He founded Lifestyle Sports Agency, by the way, primarily because of his reported actions and decisions related to his client, NBA prospect Ace Bailey. Specifically, the following points have rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Number one, declining NBA team workout invitations. Bailey's team, which includes Cooper, declined invites from NBA teams, believing he is a top 3 player in the draft. They don't think Ace Bailey should work out with any team outside of the top 3. They also don't feel like, apparently, that Ace Bailey should work out with the 76ers, because I think they don't like his fit on the 76ers. I think they're trying to get a team to trade up with the 76ers. This is a strategy by his management team, and it is not good for him. Now, look, this could all blow over in a couple of years, and Ace Bailey could, get rid of these idiots who are telling him all of these things that he shouldn't be listening to, and he could become an NBA star. But this just straight up should not be happening. Number 2, his agent, Omar Cooper, Sharif Cooper's father, who founded Lifestyle Sports Agency. I'm not saying he did it off of Sharif Cooper's name. He requested payment for interviews. Omar Cooper reportedly wanted to get paid for Ace Bailey to do on-camera interviews this past season. Some believe this might indicate poor advice being given to Bailey. I don't even have to elaborate on that or explain that. Overall, there's a perception that the decisions and advice given to Ace Bailey, potentially influenced by his agent, have been ill-advised or potentially detrimental to his development and standing with NBA teams. It's important to note that these are reports and opinions, and the long-term impact of these actions on Bailey's career remains to be seen. But where there's smoke, there's fire. Sorry. Just choked to death on my own saliva. Things that can happen when you do live shows that you can't edit out. All right, let's get to one more thing before I get out of here. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me rant. Hey, yo, shout out to Daniel Wren, been a member of the channel for 4 months. Give me Edgecombe or Trey Johnson. Edgecombe is much more mature than Ace so far. Edgecombe seems to have no ego and wants to be in Philly. I agree with you 100%, and I'm going to say the same thing I said yesterday about VJ Edgecombe. I believe that Ace Bailey has a much higher upside than VJ Edgecombe, Trey Johnson, Con Kneppel, Kaman Maluach, maybe even Dylan Harper. Maybe he has a higher upside than Cooper Flagg. But I believe the 76ers are going to be more interested in drafting VJ Edgecombe for his number 1 winning attitude, but mostly because he will be willing to play a role for the first couple years he's on a team as he develops into what he can possibly develop into. And I think VJ Edgecombe can help the 76ers as a glue guy, as an energy, perimeter defense, athletic guy that can just kind of fill the stat sheet and do all the little things as he develops, versus a player who has higher upside, but his camp clearly wants him to become an NBA star and doesn't really care much about, or seems like they don't really care much about him going to an organization that could possibly win something. I'm not saying that's the 76ers. I can't even believe I just put them in that same scenario. I also have had people say he doesn't want to go to Philly because it's a loser organization and he shouldn't want to go to Philly. And to that I say, you make a very valid point.